How's it going, everybody? Today we have another listener request. This request is referring to VAs. And some of you may not know what a VA is. That's all right, we'll cover that. How to use them, how to implement them, what to use them for. So let's get into it. A VA, just to kind of define the term, is a virtual assistant. This is anybody that you hire virtually, so they're not on site in your business. You may have a bookkeeper or a secretary that is local and comes into the office and actually answers phones and does your paperwork. Or you can hire a virtual assistant, and this could be somebody from anywhere from your town all the way to Australia, India, Philippines, all over the world. You can get a VA that can work remotely to do all those things that you have somebody hired locally to do things. So if somebody's maybe doing your books or doing your marketing or doing your social media account or just doing data entry, all of those things can be done by somebody that's virtual, that's away from the office. So what we're talking about today is how do we hire a virtual assistant and what should we use them for? So we're going to cover what we can use them for first. So really a VA can be used for just about anything that you can think of that you need done during the day. If it doesn't involve physical papers or things in your office, then it can be done virtually. It can be done wherever they're at around the world. So think about things like your marketing, your bookkeeping, data entry for entering your invoices at the end of the day, your Facebook ads, your social media posting. Any of those things can be done by a virtual assistant. Now you can have two different types of a VA. You can have somebody that is literally an assistant that helps you with most everything that you have, and that requires a really well-rounded VA, somebody that has a lot of experience with being someone's assistant. So you may say, hey, you know what, can you make these phone calls for me? And I need these letters written up that we're going to send out to these customers. Here's their names and addresses, and they get it all compiled and boom, and it's done for you at the end of the day. You come home, the letters are written, all you have to do is print them out and mail them. Or you might find somebody local that say, you know what, get these letters done and go ahead and mail them out. And then they have a certain spending account that you set them up with, and they go ahead and they mail them out. It might be somebody local, within a state or so, that you can actually have them do all your mailings as well. They might be able to call to confirm your jobs for the next day or the following week. You could have the phone calls forwarded to that VA as long as they're willing to work in your time zone. So it could be somebody in the Philippines that you forward all your calls to, and they answer your calls and they schedule your appointments. That's a big one. If we're on the truck and we're trying to schedule appointments and we're trying to do marketing and all this, we need some of that pressure taken off. If you've watched some of my other videos, I recommend doing a lot of different things. Marketing is important. Posting on social media, writing letters, contacting your customers all the time, setting up appointments. All of this stuff has to be done, and if we're on the truck and then we come home and we have to do all this, it's just impossible. So hiring a VA is something that makes your life easier, lets you be able to concentrate on what you need to do. So if you're trying to do more of the marketing, well, what if you don't have to answer phones during the day? What if you don't have to write those letters to send out to the customers? What if you can spend all your time crafting that marketing message that you want to do and not worry about everything else that's being done? You hired someone to run the truck, and now you're home or in the office and you have a lot of time, but that time's being eaten away by the phone calls and having to write these letters, and you thought, oh, I'm going to have so much time more to do all this other stuff, and you get there and now, oh, I don't even know how I was getting it all done before, because it seems like I'm even busier now that I'm off the truck, because I have to hire and I have to market and I have to send letters and I have to do customer retention and I have to do all the things that I really wasn't doing before. And I was just kind of cruising along as the technician in the truck, and all this other stuff that was piling up because it never got done before. A VA is perfect for that type of thing. Personally, I use VAs for marketing. My Google Ads manager is a VA. My bookkeeper is a VA. And then anytime I need design work, I have several VAs that I use for different things. So a VA can be for anything. So the doors are wide open for what you can use them for. Now, as far as how do I go about finding and hiring a VA, there's sources online. If you just type in VA or virtual assistant, it's going to come up with all these sources of how do we find a VA. There's sources in America, there's sources outside the US, there's sources in the UK, everywhere there's sources. So a lot of the VA work is done out of the country, so India, Philippines, I've mentioned before, but all over the world you can get things done. And typically they might work different hours, but if they're doing things like writing letters and things of that nature, posting social media, they can set that up to post at different time frames. So Facebook allows you to schedule your post and schedule things out, and there's different software can do that. So all you have to do is find a VA that's good at that can set up your post for the week or for the month ahead of time, and then schedule them to go out on whenever you tell them to do so. Your Google Ads guy can do what he doesn't need to be in your office. You don't need a marketing specialist in your office. It's ridiculous. We're carpet cleaners. We're not a giant company like Apple that has to have marketing staff on site all the time. You can set this up with a VA, and they don't have to be in your office. And they can be from India or Philippines or Australia or the UK. And wherever you find somebody that's good at what they do, who cares where they're at? Have them working for you. We want the best staff we can possibly get, right? We hire the best people we can possibly get. Why not hire the best outside staff that we can possibly get as well? So find somebody that's very good and hire them remotely. Get them on your staff as a VA. So all we have to do is go to the sites that you can find VAs. One of the bigger ones is Upwork.com, and you could just type in what you want at the top little search, and it'll pull up whatever it is you want. Say, I want a copywriter. Well, you'll have 100 different copywriters that you can hire. Are they all decent? Are they all good? Possibly not. What I would recommend now, this goes into how do we hire someone to do these tasks. So first of all, you want to go in and do your search, and you're going to have to write kind of a little want ad on what you want. Find something for them to do that's small, that they can do in a day or do in a couple hours, that you're just testing their capabilities. Are they going to mesh well with you? Are they going to hit their timelines? Are they going to do the job as you asked, or do I have to constantly be on them? I've hired VAs where they did everything perfectly, just bam, right off the bat. And then I hired VAs where every other day I want it this way, I want it this way, I want it this way. So you have to find somebody that is a self-starter, self-motivated, and meshes well with your style, so you can tell them what to do, and they're not going to be asking you a million questions that it's even harder now that you have the VA, because you're constantly on the phone or constantly on a Zoom call trying to put out fires that they've created by not knowing how you want things done. So you'll find that you can post your ad and get maybe 10 or 15 responses, look through the responses, view their prior work, and then test the ones that you think, hey, this person might be good. Give them a test. Have them write something. Have them do a little bit of marketing push for you. See if they can get a result. And then, if they work out, great. Then hire them on a more ongoing basis if that's what you need. And there may be one-off hires. That's, okay, I need this website designed. That's a one-off. Or I need this website maintained. That's more of an ongoing. So you can hire someone just as a one-off that's just doing one thing for you, or you can hire somebody that is ongoing. You're going to pay them continuously for however long this project lasts. And then, as opposed to these little one-off projects, you can hire someone that's a VA, that's your assistant, and they're used to do everything. Now, you don't have to think that, that's going to be really expensive. Now, if you're going to do it in the US or in the UK, if you're going to get someone local, it's going to be a little more expensive. You just know that going in, but if that's fine if that's what you want. Somebody local, maybe they're answering phones and you want an American or a UK accent, or the accent of wherever you're at, Australian, doesn't matter where you're at. If you want someone to have the local accent of the local, be able to speak to somebody with a local dialect, then you're going to want to get someone local. And if that's not that important, if they're just building a website or doing something that doesn't require them to speak to anybody or talk to any customers, then they can be as remote as you want. It doesn't matter. Most of my websites in the past were built by people out of India, and they do a fantastic job. And they work for anywhere from $6 to $10 an hour, where here in America or the UK or Australia, any of those nations, they're going to be at $20 to $100 an hour for that work. Will you get a better product for the $20 to $100 an hour? I don't know. I've never hired someone for $100 an hour to build a carpet cleaning website. It's not feasible. We're not made of money. Our budget's not giant, so we don't spend $20,000 to build a website. So find somebody that you think is capable that can build your website and hire them to do it. Test them on one page. See how you like their work. See if they do a good job, and then hire them. But like I said before, you can have somebody that's full-time. And what I mean by full-time is the whole month is dedicated only to you. They're there to do anything that you want them to do. And they have to be more well-rounded, like I was saying. They can't just be good at one thing. But usually if they're saying they're a VA and that's what they specialize in, is being an assistant, they're going to know a multitude of different things that they need to know. And you can use them for anything. If you want to buy concert tickets, just email them, say, hey, I need concert tickets for this show at this time. And they'll buy you concert tickets. If you want to buy flowers for your wife and have them delivered at her work, then they do that. If you want to call a customer, then they do that. They're your assistant. When there's something that you need done, you just tell them, do this thing. Give them an instruction and have them do it. And this is a little harder to hire for because there's more moving parts. There's more things that they need to know. So you do have to test somebody like this. So have them make some appointments for you. Have them craft some letters and make sure that their wording is correct. So sometimes in India that they don't have the right capability to write a letter. You might have to check a few people and make sure that they are completely capable of writing in clear English if it's out of the country, if you're going to have them write letters. If you're going to have them make phone calls, in today's day, we know that these call centers are mostly in India, mostly out of the Philippines. So their dialect isn't exactly the same as American, and sometimes it's hard to understand. So if you want somebody to make phone calls, at least make sure that their accent isn't so heavy that you can't understand them. Then your customers aren't going to be happy because they know you've hired someone out of the country, and some people just don't really like that anyway. So if they can't speak in clear English, we obviously don't want them calling our customers on the phone. But many times out of the Philippines, you can get people that speak very fluent English, and your customer may never know that they're even out of the country. And you can have them make phone calls and do all kinds of things for you. But a lot of the stuff we do is, have them write the letters, have them do things for you that you just need done. It's just busy work. The busy work eats up our time, and you just don't have enough time to just devote to your business continuously if you're doing all this busy work, calling people and ordering things and all of that stuff that just eats up 5 hours out of the day when you needed to do other things on marketing or whatever. And then the posting on social media, that's something a VA could do so easily. Just look at their qualifications, give them a test, see if they do a good job, and then hire them. Don't feel like we've got to wear 19 different hats and we have to do everything ourselves. We need to let go of our perfectionist attitude, like, oh, I have to do that. I can't let anybody else do that. They'll screw it up. If that's your mentality and you can't get past that mindset block in your head that tells you have to do everything, then you're not going to be able to grow at a consistent level, because you can't physically do everything, especially when you start growing past $70,000, $80,000, $100,000. You need to find outside help, because it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a crushing amount of paperwork and things that you need to do if you're going to do your own books and you're going to do your own marketing and you're going to do everything, and you have to keep 2 or 3 trucks busy year round, and that involves marketing, it involves social media, it involves all of these things. I'm sorry, but you're not going to be able to do everything on your own. You're going to have help. So if you can't get past that block saying, I have to do everything myself, then just know you're not going to be able to grow beyond a certain point effectively without a lot of burnout on your part. You're just going to not be able to logistically do it all yourself. So that's where a VA comes in. Remember, Upwork is a good source, but there's sources everywhere. Just type in VA, give them a test, find something you want them to do, and have them do it. Have them write something, have them set up social media, have them do a small week-long test or even a couple days and see how they perform, and then hire them to do it. And you're going to get VAs that do crappy work. Oh well, you're going to find out employees that do crappy work too. This is no different. We need to test, we need to filter, we need to find the best VAs possible for your business. What works for me may not work for you. So that's VAs. So if you have any other questions on VAs, just post down in the comments and I'll be happy to answer them as best I can. So don't be afraid to hire someone to do something for you. Let go of the perfectionism. Let someone else do some of the work. It takes pressure off of you. So that's why we use and need to have VAs in our business. It's not an if, it's a when. You're going to need help at some point. So that's it, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.